So I was talking in other videos not only about Biden putting on that cap and saying that don't eat dogs and cats, and I also analyzed Karine Jean-Pierre about saying that all these conspiracy theories happening on the internet about certain immigrants on Springfield, Ohio, and other cities of the United States doing the unthinkable to dogs and cats, and they were pointing the fact that in Springfield, Ohio, there are 20,000 Haitians with TPS, temporary protection status, brought by the Biden-Harris administration. And these guys have all the records online of what's happening with animals and pets of people who live in Springfield, Ohio. So I wanted to make a video about this thread that was recollected, very good recollection by Nate Hochman on X. This is how every single argument for mass immigration goes. And you know that I made a video about immigration. My video is about illegal immigration. Have to remember that if this 20K Haitians have a temporary protection status, they are not illegal. They already have legal status to be there. But it doesn't change the fact that what impact do they have in the community? So he was mentioning this tweet by Franklin Lerner. Today, my thoughts are of Captain Alex Idrache, a U.S. Army helicopter pilot who graduated at the top of his West Point class with a degree in physics in 2016. He's also a Haitian immigrant. What do you think is the point that Franklin Lerner is trying to use this, to put in this? I'm going to tell you. He's trying to say that, oh, you cannot criticize Haitians because how could we have had people like Captain Alex Idrache, in which I have to say, this is by any measure, by any means, in any country, this is an outstanding performance. Graduated at the top of his West Point class. This is only trying to enter West Point. That is amazing. And with a degree in physics in 2016. I mean, you have to understand that Captain Idrache realized this. He achieved this. This was a massive achievement. But it has nothing to do with the fact that he's Haitian. It has nothing to do with that fact. It's not, oh yeah, Haitians have this ability to do this kind of things. No. And that is by any measure. If he was German or American or Japanese or Venezuelan, that would be an extreme achievement. Either way, in every country, by any measure. But what Franklin Lerner wants to make it seem is that, oh yeah, this is, you should let 20,000, well, it's not 20,000, it's more 300,000 Haitian immigrants that are in the United States. That was the total that the Biden-Harris administration granted them access. And I said, are those 300,000 immigrants the same level of achievement or potential at Alex Idrache, Captain Idrache? No, it is statistically impossible. It's like in a normal distribution. This is simple. You have a normal distribution. You will have this extremes on both ends of that scale. You have people who are absolutely dumb, we could say, imbecile, and people who are going to be, well, the other end, the far right end is going to be absolutely brilliant. And in that area is what Captain Alex Idrache falls. That is obvious. But we have this discussion, because Wade Miller enters that discussion. Haiti is a failed state. There are massive corruption, gang, and violence problems there. That is a fact. That's not something that have people made up. The idea that there won't be repercussions after moving 20 20,000 Haitians into a small town with a different culture is not negated by the fact that some Haitians are amazing people, are amazing citizens of the United States now, or that some of them serve our country honorably. That one thing doesn't negate the other. Okay, there are exceptions to one rule, but that exception of the rule doesn't render the rule doesn't actually deny the rest of the rule. And Lerner answers, Haiti being a failed state with massive corruption, gang, and violence problems, due in part to American foreign policy, by the way, is exactly why moving Haitians into the United States is well advised. And yes, there will be repercussions, disproportionately positive ones. That is a pipe dream. But notice that Leonard is already moving the goalpost in saying that whatever is happening in Haiti is responsibility of the United States. So it's the right thing to bring those Haitians into the United States. I mean, didn't the Clintons help Haiti many years ago? How did it go? Shouldn't it be the way that help Haitians in their country fish or farm the land? I don't know, learn to catch the fish. Don't give people fish, just teach them how to fish. Isn't that the way that it should go? Then Wade Miller answers, disagree. Moving large numbers of people who were unable to create a civil society on their own with significantly difficult cultures and customs into small towns is a recipe for failure. We are not seeing positive repercussions. We are seeing a town on the brink of failure because of a lack of resources, lack of housing, lack of jobs, lack of insurance, health care, etc. This is not in the best interest of Americans. And that's something that is obvious. That is common sense. Leonard says, we is doing a lot of work here. Go reread Emma Lazarus' New Colossus and reacquaint yourself with bedrock American values. Again, moving the goalpost, and I said that on my Karine Jean-Pierre analysis, and you, in the case that you're attacked and you don't know how to continue with the argument, then you either move the goalposts of the argument or you take a step back to make it more general. Now we are talking about American values. Why are we talking about American values right now? It has nothing to do. The American values, okay, you have all this defense of liberties and opportunity for people, but the idea is that said people who have the opportunity to come into the United States or in any country, for that matter, is that they have to abide by the law and abide by the morals and the ethics that the people inside that country have signed for and uphold in that country. You cannot just ignore that, even if one or two or a handful of said immigrants are great citizens of the country. That doesn't mean this has to be a case-by-case basis. You're excellent, great. You're not excellent, well, you have the opportunity to do the right thing. You don't adapt, you are kicked out. It's that simple. I don't understand why it is so hard to understand this. Wade Miller, again, it doesn't matter where they come from. If you moved 20,000 people from Germany to a town the size of Springfield, Ohio, you would have big problems. Arguing otherwise and trying to point to a book as evidence to the contrary is like telling me the sky isn't blue because you read it in one book. A book, says Leonard, with quotation marks, begins to look a bit confrontational and not in a civilized way. I'm referring to the poem inscribed at the base of the Statue of Liberty, which you'd know if you had any knowledge whatsoever of this country's history and what it stands for. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send this, the homeless tempest toast to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. That is great. That is amazing. But You cannot send them all at once. It would mean that you can send the whole world to the United States, and that would be the right thing to do. No, that would be a mess. That doesn't work like that. You have to think of the best interests of your country, and it is regardless of which country you are living in or you are citizen of. Why am I bound by something written and put on a statue in 1883 by people in New York? I have never agreed with that argument as a literal statement applicable to all times, all groups, and all countries. It's a sentiment, not a sound literal prescription. I agree as well. Leonard, can we doubt that only a divine providence placed in this land? He begins to quote Ronald Reagan, his acceptance speech for the Republican nomination to the presidency in 1980. Again, we're talking about more than 40 years ago. You know, times change. The world changes. America changed. People change. There's so many things at stake right now that you cannot possibly compare America in 1980 to 1924. That is just absurd. It's trying to gaslight you into a position that is not common sense. That is nonsense, in fact. And this is something that I want to hammer over and over again, because this is the way that people come to argue and have a discussion, but in bad faith. And if someone comes in bad faith, you might as well just not listen to them. You might as well not try to spot the fallacies and how you try to discuss their initial argument, and they realize that they have no argument, and ultimately will resort with personal attacks, ad hominem attacks. And what would happen here, Miller says, I also disagree with Reagan, even if it was 44 years ago, and it makes sense that it was another time, another circumstances. But Lerner says, fair enough, you do you. In the meantime, might I recommend using an actual photo of yourself as your avatar? The difference is jarring. What does it have to do with the argument, with the discussion? That's what people do when they have no argument left. When they have lost the argument, they begin attacking you, so you get triggered. And if you get triggered and you are so irrational, why are you acting like that? Why are you being so mean? In this case, he doubles down, Leonard. You look nothing like your avatar, and it's rather sad that you have chosen it. Be proud of the way that God made you. Despite your best efforts, says Wade Miller, I have no interest in dating you or taking advice on my appearance. And Leonard answers, it's not advice on your appearance. It's advice about misrepresenting your appearance. But again, do you. This is the kind of things that the problem that I see is that people want to make some kind of false equivalence between two things. First, they do a false equivalence between legal and illegal immigration. Oh, you cannot say that Haitians are illegals because they are not. I never said they were illegals. They have the TPS. Oh, you cannot criticize Haitians because one of them had this just amazing achievement right now. Who can tell? Yes, we have ways to tell things. We have many ways to tell things. To tell if someone is going to be fit for a job or a position, or let's say I'm going to copy and paste right now something that I shared earlier on my X account. And this is a book that everybody should read at some point. The Bell Curve, this is a forbidden book, a banned book, but something that is applicable. Because I am tired of seeing people saying that IQ is not a real thing. IQ is a construct. IQ cannot be measured. IQ has nothing to do with this. IQ absolutely has to do with Captain Alex Idrach's success. And it's absurd and stupid to pretend that it was not. But again, this is something that people will try to gaslight to you into accepting. So don't let them get the upper hand on you. Now you have tools to avoid this kind of arguments and fallacies and just stop them in their tracks. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Remember to download my 100 free body language tips in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss.